Hi there, Jamie here with Annapolis Discovered, and today we get to take a fun boat ride about 1.5 miles offshore here from the Annapolis Maritime Museum, where we're going to visit the Thomas Point Shoal Lighthouse, a treasure of the Chesapeake. Today we're going to meet with John Potvin, who's the preservation foreman and also serves as a tour docent. So he's going to tell us all about the history, the people that have lived there, things that the lighthouse is used for today, and how you can take a tour yourself. Come on, let's go. Hey John, thanks so much for having us out at this beautiful place on a beautiful day.
You got the day, perfect day. Nice breeze blowing out here. We're at the Thomas Point Shoal Lighthouse, built in 1875.
1875. So the first thing, Thomas Point Shoal Lighthouse, what does that mean?
That means that there's shallow water, so they had to put a lighthouse to keep ships from running aground on this shoal. Actually, one time there were 40 of these in the bay. This is the last surviving screw-pile lighthouse on the bay.
So can you tell us a little bit about the history of it? You mentioned that it was built in 1875.
It was built in 1875 and run by the Lighthouse Service up until 1939. In 1939, through an act of Congress, the Coast Guard took over the Lighthouse Service and they brought coasties out here instead of lighthouse keepers.
So keepers, coasties, people have lived here?
They have lived in this lighthouse, some of them as much as 5 or 6 years. Some of them as short as 4 weeks to 6 weeks, but typically the coasties would work out here for 4 weeks and have 1 week off.
So coming out here, there's each of the rooms kind of tells a little bit about what life was like living in a lighthouse.
There are different eras out here. We have pre-1939 eras to show what it was like when it was lighthouse keepers out here. We have post-1939 era when the Coast Guard was out here. The Coast Guard brought electricity out in 1939. Before that, there had been no power.
No power. So
everything was kerosene. They heated with coal. And it was just a different world back then.
And aside from all of the information and the light that helps guide boaters, you can also come visit. Right?
Yes, we have tours through the United States Lighthouse Society. It's an organized tour with docents. I'm one of the docents, but we have 26 of them. We do this every Saturday from June until October. They leave from the Annapolis Maritime Museum in Annapolis, and there's a morning tour and an afternoon tour. We take 18 people out at a time. It's a great trip. It's an adventure tour. It's worth doing. It's a fun time just to see this lighthouse, see the history that's out here, and experience it firsthand.
It's definitely a one-of-a-kind place to visit.
It is, and it is on the National Historic Landmark. One of only 12 lighthouses in the country that has this designation.
So that's something to be proud of.
Absolutely.
And something to keep sharing.
And for 15 years we've been working to preserve this structure. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears have gone into this structure, and you're seeing today the fruition of all of that work. It's very exciting for us to be able to take the public out and show them this. I think that's a highlight in the state of Maryland to come see this.
We're back on land here after our wonderful tour of the Thomas Point Lighthouse, and we want to keep these tours going. So there's some ways that you can be involved in the preservation effort. Coming up on November 2nd is the Keep the Light Shining Gala at the Navy Marine Corps Stadium, where they're going to have a fundraiser to help with the preservation efforts moving forward. To learn more about the gala and taking a tour for yourself, check out our written blog at AnnapolisDiscovered.com. I'm Jamie, and I'll see you on our next adventure.